Welcome to the Coffee with Craner show. Today I'm here with Frank Abbruzzese. He is the president of Alpha Core Group. He's also last year was the tech CEO for We Tech Alliance. He won that award, Tech CEO of the Year in 2019. He also co-founded the Windsor-Essex Circle, which is a huge networking group in Windsor-Essex. And then some actually call him the king of networking. So thanks for joining me today, Frank. I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure, Lyndon.
So I have to ask a question at the very beginning. Where is your favorite place to grab a cup of joe?
Favorite place? Well, Chow Cafe is always a really nice spot to go to. Of course, anywhere in the street is good, right? So we can't go there now, but we'll get back there soon enough.
Exactly. So I brought Frank on the show today. We're going to be talking about networking in the virtual world, and I think that's an important topic, especially for if there's emerging leaders that are watching today and they've never been to a networking event or even heard about networking before. So Frank's going to give us a bit of an insight on what networking is. So Frank, if you could tell us, what is networking, and then how can it benefit somebody, whether it be my age or even older?
Sure, I don't think age really matters, and networking is all about connecting with people. So let's focus on the business professional. So anyone that's pursuing a career in any line of work, any career that you want to pursue, is making your connections, building your group of contacts, your associates. Take what you've done with your friends and make it at a professional level. So networking is anything to do with connecting with people. And Lyndon, you and I had met a while back, and we were at a networking event where you had a bunch of guest speakers going on. So I met some of the people in your circle, and then I got to build my network as well from that.
Exactly.
So, benefits is anyone that the emerging leaders that are looking to build their business, pursue their career, get their first job, advance their career. You want to look at people that can help you along the way. So let other people know what you do, how you can help them, and what you're looking for, so we can help you, so we can open doors.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's a huge benefit. I think that networking is a great opportunity to meet new people, see if there's people that you're able to help in the community or vice versa. So it's kind of an exchange of information and seeing if there's an opportunity where you can help somebody, especially if you're a business owner. So if I were to begin networking, what would you say would be the first steps to getting involved and beginning to network?
Sure. So first thing I would say is, because we're in this virtual world, is look at LinkedIn as one tool, if I can talk about that. So LinkedIn is a professional tool. It's similar to your Facebook. Most people listening, I'm sure, are familiar with Facebook. So use LinkedIn as your professional tool to build your network. If you don't have a profile, if you don't have an account, it's free. Set it up. You need a half-decent photo and put a short and sweet profile. If you check my profile out, today, by the way, I'm celebrating 32 years in the tech industry. So
awesome.
If you check out my profile, we've done a lot. Lyndon, you've done a lot. If you look at the profile, people don't have the time or attention span. They do care and like you, but I can't spend 5 minutes reading a profile. So it's got to be very concise, to the point. Talk about the highlights. Talk about what you do. That's the first thing, is get on LinkedIn.com, set up your profile, get a picture in there. Then what I suggest is look at people that you want to associate with. Connect with them, send them an invite on LinkedIn, and take a look at that, of how you can say hello to them, connect with them, and then follow up with an email thanking them for connecting is really important. Keep your profile up to date. As I mentioned today, all my social media channels are updated from the 32 years, right? You want to keep everything up to date.
Yes, that is important.
Yeah, you did mention the Windsor-Essex Circle. So anyone that wants to do their very first networking, one thing we've done with the Windsor-Essex Circle, it's a networking group open to everybody in Windsor-Essex and Michigan, of course, our neighbors. We invite everyone to connect with us in the virtual world. We did our first Zoom chat last Wednesday, and we had about 30 people on. It was a lot of fun. The brick and mortar, when we held it once at the university where we had students attend, and a lot of people over the years have come out to the circle as the very first way to network and meet people, because it's not easy to do. It's intimidating. So you want to lean on people like us that will open the door, help you, coach you, mentor, etc.
How long did you say it was open for? Like, how long has Windsor-Essex Circle been around?
Been about 10 years now that we've been doing it. And on the group, we have 1,100 members on LinkedIn. So that's pretty powerful. So if you want to get your message out, it's a great area to communicate and meet new people.
Awesome. So I think that kind of ties into now. How is networking changing with COVID-19? Is it still possible, Frank?
Yes, it is. You'll notice. I don't know about you, but we're inundated with a lot of webinar, a lot of interactive chats, and everyone's had no choice but to move to a virtual platform. So look at things that you like and see if there's a group that they do go virtual, or go and start your own virtual chat with people in those groups is what I recommend. If you're not sure where to begin, you can always send us a message and lean on us, and we can kind of coach you along the way and help you, because there's so many different groups, associations. We have the Windsor-Essex Chamber, we have the Leamington Chamber, so we have a couple good organizations that you could look at. Hop on their webinars. There's a lot of accounting firms and a lot of professionals helping people today. Hop on their webinars, take a look at who's attending, connect with them, reach out to them on LinkedIn, and ask if you can start a conversation with them, and tell them your story, ask them for your story as well. This can all be done virtually.
I agree. So last week I went to the Windsor-Essex Circle and we did it on Zoom. So that was a really great opportunity. We had almost like a roundtable discussion. Everyone was on Zoom and you could see everybody, and we all went around and talked a bit about ourselves. And then there's an open discussion at the end. So it is still possible, especially with COVID-19.
Absolutely, yes.
So there's the Windsor-Essex Circle. That would be some of the networking opportunities available here in Windsor-Essex. Is there anything else that somebody like myself or anyone really could do to network in Windsor-Essex?
I would look at the chamber webinars that I mentioned. Those would be good to do. We have, if anybody's in the innovation sector and technology that we're in, WeTech has a whole bunch of events as well. The city of Windsor did a Facebook Live, check out what the mayor and other stakeholders are doing, and get on the Facebook Live and take a look at the comments, who's commenting, who are the guest speakers. Join those groups, make a comment, make yourself known. Say, hi, I'm a startup company, or I'm an emerging leader, and I'm looking for help on how can I move my business online. Does anybody have any suggestions? If we're struggling with financing, which is a tough thing today, who can help me on what government funding is available? I don't understand. I've gone to the website, canada.ca, for example. I'm confused. A lot of accounting firms are offering their resources to help. So those are ways to kind of open up those doors. I know Nora Build a Dream is doing her Facebook Live, so I would hop on some of those. Craner with Coffee, check out Lyndon and say, hey, Lyndon, how can you help me? I have a mug from my high school, Leamington District Secondary School. I'm a proud county boy. And awesome. Today I heard the Leafs were supposed to win the cup, so I brought my own Habs cup just for argument's sake. And of course, there's Red Wing fans out there, so we respect them all. So I'm a Habs fan. No secret about that.
That's great. I love the cups. That's awesome. So when I'm attending a networking event, what would you say is something I can take away from it?
So what you want to take away is networking is two-way. It's building relationships. So build your relationship first. So if I met you, I would ask, Lyndon, tell me your story. Tell me about that. I would ask virtually, I'd say, great, how can I get in touch with you? Are you okay if we connect on LinkedIn, for example? Are you okay if we connect on Facebook? So my takeaway is I really want to know who you are. But the key is I want to follow up with you and follow up on our conversation. So I'd like to continue our discussion about this coffee with Craner. What is this all about? And you know what? I want to check out what you're doing here. Tell me more about that. So I'd send you an email saying it was nice to meet you on that chamber virtual online event. And I really want to get to know you better. Here's my LinkedIn information. Connect with me. What you want to take away is making that connection. Build the relationship first. And if we're in the selling capacity, and we're all selling all the time, selling will come later. Develop the relationship. Build it your relationship first.
Exactly.
One big turnoff I have is what not to take away from a networking event is don't say, hey, Lyndon, it was so great to see you at the meeting online. Here's what our company can do for you. Can I call you so we can tell you all this stuff? And I know it sounds funny, but there's people that are doing that, unfortunately, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a huge turnoff. Because you don't know me, you don't know what I need yet. So get to know me first and ask me those questions and lead up to it. Maybe the second or third touch might be, hey, I remember you mentioning, I'm wondering if maybe you want to start a discussion about how our service, our product, our startup company, what I'm involved in, if it can help you. So ask them the questions. It's a softer approach.
Yeah, I think it's relationship first, then sales are next.
Right. Absolutely.
So this is something that I faced on my first networking event. For anyone, I think it can be nerve-wracking. You're going into a group and you don't know anybody, and you're trying to introduce yourself. It can be nervous, especially the first time. If you're not a people person, you're kind of shy. How can I be less nervous attending, let's say, my first networking event?
So you have to look at the person in the mirror because that's the only person that can help you with this. I honestly can tell you, I suffered my entire childhood, high school, university, with being a total introvert, being shy, quiet. I was labeled all of those. I know some people are shocked, but that's the way it is. So somewhere when I got into my professional career and I started selling, I had to learn how to get over it and interact with people. So I had to learn how to talk, how to ask questions, how to listen, which sound like an easy concept, but they're really not. You know, you can't ask someone to repeat something that they've already said a couple times, right? So you have to be focused on them. The nervousness is natural. If kind of embarrassing to say, but I'm vulnerable, right? Read my blog, you'll know all about vulnerability. I have anxiety when you ask me to come on, right? We're doing a live show. You're asking me questions, and I'm not going to lie and say that, oh, this is easy and it's a cakewalk. And a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
will say that to a lot of us and say, oh, you do this all the time. It's easy. Guess what? I get nervous.
Yeah.
It's part of life. I think being a bit nervous makes you a better person. It
Yep.
keeps you on your game. Now, if you're too nervous, where you keep getting that as an excuse, you're gonna have to figure out and maybe talk to other people on how do you overcome it. I find you just take a plunge, you move forward. Hey, we're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. I
Yeah.
went through a presentation where I admitted sometimes somebody asked me, how is it possible that you can handle every single day and be on top of your game and lead and go and take all that and a lot of pressure? And I go, sometimes, you go home, you close the door and you actually cry. It's okay. Guess what? We're nervous. We're human. We have emotions. Bring your passion. Bring you. And don't try to be someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So I came open-mindedly to your discussion. I'm sure I might be a little bit anxious on it. I don't know who's watching. If there's one person or 10,000 people on here.
Hey, you never know.
Okay. But that's okay, right?
Yes.
We're all learning. We're all growing. And one thing that this current situation has hit over and over and over, we're in this all together. None of us have all the answers. None of us know all the secrets on how to move forward. We're in it together. I applaud you for taking initiative to do this because this is what we all should be doing. How can we help each other? How can we have an open discussion? How can we help people network? What are the questions that the audience would like to know about networking? Be happy to have the discussion.
Absolutely.
So nervousness, I hope I answered that for you. We went on a couple tangents, but I think nervous is all a natural part of our emotions and our passion, and it's okay to be a bit. Are you nervous at all, Linda, when you're doing these?
Oh, absolutely. It's human nature, right? As you practice more, you get less nervous. That's for sure. But the first couple times, it's nervous. Even if I'm talking to a computer screen, it can still be nerve-wracking. So it's important to. We have some comments coming in here. Carmela.
De Pietro Joseph Shears.
Great advice, cousin Carmen. Tal has to say we're in this together, and that's exactly it. So I hope that today's discussion with Frank and that these chats that I'm doing are really helping everyone cope with this time and providing some type of advice. If there's even a small takeaway from these shows, I hope it's helping you. Frank, I appreciate you being on here today. And I encourage anyone who's looking to get involved with networking to join the Windsor-Essex Circle. What would be the website that somebody can check this out on?
LinkedIn.
All right. So message Frank on LinkedIn.
Yeah, or on LinkedIn, you can find me on there. Frank@alphacore.com is the other way to reach me. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, all the handles, Instagram. I'm not on TikTok or Snapchat. Sorry, I can't do it all.
Soon.
I did want to say that the toughest thing for me during being the social person and being out interacting with people in face to face, the toughest thing is, as I mentioned earlier, I don't know who's watching. I can't gauge the audience except with a couple comments that came through. Thank you for that. But interaction is two-way street. So Lyndon, I know where you're at. If you're happy or not happy, you're nodding your head, you're smiling, right? So I find that communication is challenging when you're doing these type of things, if you're doing a one-way webinar. So some of the interactive webinars, when you mentioned the circle, we had everyone up on the screen. I love control, right? So I muted everybody and had everyone take their turn and have it controlled. Because sometimes in a group setting, it's hard. And nervousness shows up in there, and also the shyness where several people tend to always dominate the conversation when the other ones are quieter. So when you're networking, I think it's up to all of us to encourage everyone to take part of the group, join in. When we were at the university, you know, I went up to the students that were huddled in the back. It's intimidating. You see all these adults networking, and 3 students are whispering in the back and talking to each other. So I went over and brought them in and introduced them to people. So that's always something that all of us should be aware of, making sure that we're all taking care of everybody all the time, especially today. I think that's really important.
Yes, I remember when I attended my first networking event with you. I believe it was Teresa and yourself. I was a bit shy, and you guys came over and you guys started the conversation, right? So it's taking the first step and being that person to, if there's somebody, you know, in a crowd and they're quiet and they're not, they're shy, just going up and approaching them is the best thing, especially with networking events. It makes it feel more open, you know, people are less nervous. So it's very important.
And you'll also notice, which we've seen here, right? When we see the comments start, other people will chime in. So be the one that does it first. Be the one to comment, right? Like Carmela did, and Tal came in right after. So be the ones to start the conversation. You'll be remembered.
Awesome. Well, Frank, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. I know you're a busy guy, so I appreciate you being on here and providing some words of wisdom to the people watching all about networking. If you are interested in getting involved in networking, you can still do it. You can still do it with the Windsor-Essex Circle. Once a month, they're going to be joining online through Zoom to network. Great opportunity. I attended my first Windsor-Essex Circle event last year, so I encourage anyone watching to do the same as well.
Great, Lyndon. Thanks. My pleasure to be here. All the best on the future coffee chats.
Thank you. Everyone stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day.